with mammary glands, we have a handful of slides up here, but it's important that you grab the correct one, or it's going to be difficult to see much of anything. So when you're looking for the slides, make sure that you grab one that says active. Okay, so here is a good shot of the mammary gland. Now with the mammary gland, this often gets confused with the lung, and which that makes sense because this is called an alveoli. So we still have alveoli that look a lot like what we saw in the lung. The best way to tell it apart from the lung, well, I guess there's two ways. One, you have all of this connective tissue in between the alveoli, and you wouldn't see that in the lung since the lung is just a whole bunch of simple squamous epithelium. And also in the alveoli, you'll also see stuff. Whereas in the lungs, since there's only air in the alveoli, you don't see anything in those capsules. Here we see stuff. Also a quick note, I'm pointing to these and calling them alveoli. We're used to seeing alveoli looking more like this, where it's a completely closed circle. These are still alveoli in the mammary gland. Okay?
Oh, so that alveoli like structured like a gland?
Yes. Yeah, so all of the enclosed areas, this doesn't have to be a perfect circle, all the enclosed areas are alveoli. Okay? Another way that you can tell that this is the mammary gland and not the lung, like I said, there's stuff inside of these. That's the colloid. Okay, that's your second ID. So colloid is basically like pre-milk, and it's what gets stored in the mammary glands. That's why it's important to have an active one, because if you pick up a slide that's not active, you won't find any colloid. Now there is some variation how the colloid is stained, so some colors that you might see it is sometimes is yellow, sometimes it's pink, and I've seen it purple also in our slide sets. So it's just going to be the substance that's stained inside of the alveoli, but the color does change depending on what slide you grab. Okay? All right, any questions for the mammary gland?
You had alveoli?
Yeah, so an alveoli is just one complete circle. So this would be one here, same with this one, and then we also have ones that do look circular like the lung. Okay? Good question. All right, any other questions? All right, so move on to the testes.